Victory Monday Q&A is here, folks. I know you have questions. We have answers. It's going to be a fun night. Where are they going from here? What is the next step for the Kansas City Chiefs? What did we hit and what didn't we? Welcome to RGR Football.
All right. Welcome back, Rogue Nation. My name is Daniel Harms. I'm back finally from my vacation to Michigan, and I'm just going to rattle off some victory laps so my daughter gets involved in the action right here. Very first thing we're going to talk about, the video on Tuesday that hit before the game on Sunday night. Byron Pringle and Josh Gordon. Yes, Avery. 1 and 2, wide receivers on the outside. They played the most snaps. Okay, Avery, I love you, but please stop talking. The two wide receivers on the outside. Okay. They played the most snaps. They were the best, and Byron Pringle's now showing you why he should be out there, okay? Number 2, running backs involved in the passing game. Should have been the thing from the start, and now we have proof that you need to get them more involved in the passing game, things that Ron and I have been talking about since Clyde's been drafted, okay? Now, number 3, Rashad Fenton. I talked about before the 2020 season. He's better on the outside. He's showing you he's best on the outside. So this is what we're doing right here. Like, we're just showing you, rattle off 1, 2, 3 victory laps, and we're good to go. And Avery just had to get her 2 cents in there. She was just
I'm losing it over here trying to fix my battery issue. This is awesome. Folks, welcome. It's Victory Lap Monday, and it's Avery takes over RGR.
You want your victory laps, Avery? Go ahead. You talk right here.
Say yay.
You say hi.
Hi. Glad to see you, kid.
Okay. You say hi.
She's like, yeah, okay, see you, buddy. So it's great to see all this come together. This was, like I said it on social media last night, this was more than a get-right game in my mind. This was very much so about exercising the demons. And I think just like it sounded like you got a little bit out there yourself. I like that. So we're all feeling a little bit better.
I'm pumped. But again, we'll talk a little bit more about why it was so successful a little bit later.
Yeah, and a couple of standout things, too. A couple of areas of concern that have come up for me looking at the snap counts today. We'll get into that as well as all of your questions, you guys. We are going to jump into this. Is Q&A Monday. We will hit them all. I will group them together. So if you're asking questions someone else is asking, we'll pick one of them that deals with the topic. And if you want to support the channel, this is the easiest way to ask a question and do that. This is called a super chat. You can find that down underneath the chat. It's a little $ button. That helps us out. We very much appreciate it. But even if you don't want to do that, no big deal. Ask your question. Just put some question marks at the beginning of it so I can see it. I'll show you an example of that here in a minute because Mo Mattis has helped us out there. It is about me picking it out. We did have to kick some users last night. I haven't seen and verified. Aaron is in the chat, but I haven't seen if we've got that under control. So everybody just be on the lookout and please raise the warning sign if we get somebody in here spouting that kind of nonsense again. We will try to take care of it. Hello, guys. Missed Dan yesterday, but the boys looked the way that they should look. Thank you, Zach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that's almost a question, Dan. Like, is this the team that you expected to see all season?
It is. And you want to know why? It's because Gus Bradley was like, hey, I know everyone's playing 2 deeps, but I'm going to play cover 3. There's a reason that people have stopped playing cover 3 against Patrick Mahomes. And yes, within the cover 3 nonsense, he was being more patient, getting the ball out quickly. He's doing everything to transfer over to seeing 2 high safeties. He was getting comfortable doing it against cover 3. So now we're seeing Mahomes use everything he was supposed to use against cover 2, and then not only take advantage of it, but again, just shred cover 3 because he's so good at it.
Yeah. And Mo, thank you for the question.
Thank you, Mo.
You hit it. It is those shorter drops. It's getting the ball out on time. It's hitting with tempo. And I think, again, I'll echo what I said last night. I think the team as a general needs to play with more tempo, up speed. I think you've seen teams do it to the Chiefs defense this year in catching them unprepared. I think the Chiefs offense needs to roll and be in that 4-minute offense nearly constantly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. It'd be perfect for them. It allows them to get comfortable and makes the defense uncomfortable, especially when you're operating that high speed.
A lot of our members in the house tonight. Bill's here. Matt, Miss Holly, as always. Thank you guys very much. I wanted to highlight the icon. I actually,
Yeah.
Holly, don't listen to Locked On Chiefs for tomorrow because I messed up his name and I called him Thompson for some reason.
Oh man,
I don't know. It's been a long night. I didn't sleep much. That's the way that it goes. But
yeah, I get it.
folks, these are our members. If you would like to become a member of the channel, you get extra videos, you get insight, you get, quite frankly, not safe for work content that I don't share with anyone else. And most importantly, you get to get in the Discord with our other members. It is a members only thing. You can join, you just got to be at the rookie level. And if you do, would you please send me an email right here? And you can talk to Aaron and me in there. Dan and I are both in there. Everybody, the whole crew, Keys, Gooch, Sean, the redemption Sean. I think we're going to start calling, if I could just copyright Bob, I would play it every time, Sean. I would play Redemption Sean. That's what I would do.
Great.
But anyway, you can talk to all of us in there on the Discord, and you just got to send me this email so I can get you added to the group. That said, thank you, Zach. Appreciate your question. Flapjack, thank you. How about them Chiefs and all of them? And that's thank you for the support as always, Flapjack. But I thought this was maybe not just their best performance, but their most complete performance in terms of everybody getting going.
I don't disagree. It was one of the most complete games they played all year coming out, and not just on defense. I think you saw both times where the Raiders were able to, come out with their adjustments and they attacked well. And then the defense was like, okay, we'll adjust back. And there was almost like the snap back both times where they're able to really shut it down, which is what you need to see from a Steve Spagnuolo, who's going to see some different things from that first drive on first half and the second half, and the ability to adjust right after that. And I think you noticed that pretty seamlessly in this game, and that's going to be key to the offense continuing to be successful at that level.
Yeah. Pono, mahalo for the comment. I appreciate that. Melvin restructured the defense. Give him an extension. Okay, I get that it's exciting. Let's let him play through the season first.
Right now. Do it right now. Do it right now. This is another victory lap we can talk about because Melvin Ingram should have been signed in the offseason, making Chris Jones play on the inside, so you don't have to worry about this stuff. The defense is playing right now what we thought it was going to be last year. You want to know why? Because you have Juan Thornhill as your deep safety, which we've talked about all season, and because you have all your players except for one linebacker playing in position where they should be, not out of position. So, yeah, let's just go.
Okay, I like it. Adam, thank you for the support as always. Adam's been one of our original contributors around here. And I like the question a lot. We'll each take one here. Dan, go first. You've been away for a while.
The biggest step, and I know that we're going to talk, a lot of people want to say Mahomes. It wasn't Mahomes. It was, in my opinion, Darrell Williams in the passing game. He was everywhere. He's here, he's there. He was literally everywhere in the passing game. He was doing things that we've only dreamed the Chiefs would utilize with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Just downfield, not just the swing passes. He was running routes in the middle of the field as well. That's what they need to do. They need to utilize their running backs, their weapons, as actual receivers. Get them running on down the field. Get them running over the middle. Get them in the flats and take advantage of them because you're going to get those free yards all the time.
Yeah, it's going to be important. And like I said last night, I'm sure we'll get into it later. I thought he set up, big brother Darrell set it up for little brother Clyde to pick up that ball and carry it as well and show what they can do as a group.
Let's hope so.
For me, I think I would generally say Andy because he did run the ball, because he did change his game plan. I mean, not dramatically like
did
you said.
Did he run the ball, though?
Well,
they threw it 50 times. Like they were.
Right. 50 times out of 76 offensive plays. So, I mean, 33% share. We saw it down in the 20s a couple of times so far this season. So I will say that a little bit more, it does help when you're effective at it. So that certainly did help. But folks, there is a big difference between whether it's cover one or cover three, having a closed middle versus an open middle with too high. And I think this did play into their things. For me, the guy that took the biggest step forward is because I thought he had a really rough start when he first came in, but they played Noah Gray 26 snaps. I was really happy with that. Outplayed Bell, outplayed Hardman, like significant, right? And he made that score. That touchdown alone will give him confidence. I thought that was a big step for him.
I think this is a huge game for Mahomes getting confidence from everybody. Outside of Josh Gordon, which we'll talk about later. I'm sure there's going to be a question about that later. But Byron Pringle catching everything that was thrown to him. He was actually open a ton in this game, and we're going to get to that. I think I'm going to do some specifically on that for the film review. And then, your running backs.
I like that.
hitting Travis Kelce, not dropping everything it came to him. They established a ton of confidence in this game. And I think that you can start to see him spread the ball around a bit more going forward, because as much as Hill and Kelce were targeted as well as they deserved it, I think you saw he was a little bit more comfortable. He just threw it up to Darrell Williams in the end zone. He just threw it up to him. He was like, okay, I'm just going to chuck it up. When you have some trust and confidence in yourself and the offense you're running, you're going to make plays like that and continue to actually show that you have that confidence level.
And that's also why they look so lost when it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, that's a turnover-worthy play, as PFF likes to call it. But when you're used to having either yourself put in a good position or your guys make plays and then they don't, that's why everybody's looked so befuddled this whole season until this point, because it just hasn't been happening. And I just want to say, Chief Rocka, you make me laugh. Rocka does stuff I wish I could do. Because I would just enjoy that, like on a personal level, not on an analyst level. But, you know, that's the way it is. Josh, you have a good question, and folks, check out Josh's site as well. He's got a channel on here along with half of us, so I'm really glad. I equated it last night, and this is the only way I can say it, and maybe Dan will correct me. It feels like they put all that effort into Noah, and it took until week 10 to actually get on the field and make something happen. I feel like Josh Gordon is just behind that curve, and it's going to be another few weeks, but eventually it will come to that, is my thought.
Yeah, I think we're talking about a guy who's game condition is not, you can be as shredded as you want on the outside, but speaking from someone who only ever played high school football, game shape is not easy to get into. That's why you have training camp. That's why you have these programs in the offseason to work you up to it. When you come into a team in the middle of the season, when you haven't been playing for a few years, it's not just going to come back. Like, we saw him get some targets early in the season, and I'm willing to bet he was exhausted running routes the next day. I'm willing to bet that's a fact. Like, and I think you're seeing he looks more comfortable. The fact that they're using him more as a run blocker right now shows me their trust is growing in him as a player, because Andy Reid likes his wide receivers to be able to do everything. When you can run block and actually be effective at it, that creates trust within the offense. He's now the third leading wide receiver in snap counts. His trust is growing, and I think that's just as important as getting the targets. And last night was huge for his growth going forward in this offense, because when you can work it like that without Josh Gordon seeing a target, what's going to happen when he gets in game shape and you can start throwing it up to him? And just the attention factor.
Hope so.
He was starting to draw a little bit more.
Yeah, and that will come. This was the most snaps he played. It was 33 last night, you guys. So that's always good. I'm gonna hit a couple real quick so we can get a little bit caught up.
Yep.
Everybody likes the Avery appearance from the comments. I like that.
She was just going at it. She was like, "Dad's talking. I'm gonna talk."
right. Christo, the team loves the team. Like, they enjoy Dan Sorensen's presence. They trust him. He's made big plays for them before. It is nice to see them. And honestly, as much static as I give Dan for being played out of position and not being able to make plays, it's nice to see him do it. He has that knack. And I think, honestly, I backed off of criticizing because I thought he was getting so much stuff heaped on top of him. Nice to see him bounce back and get a little confidence back, I'm sure. Yep. Bolton snaps are dwindling. That's just because they're playing a little bit more nickel two backer stuff when Hitch is back now. They're playing Hitch over him. In that two linebacker set, that's fine. That's okay based on matchup. But when they are in the base, Bolton needs to be in the middle. They're still not playing him there, and I think that's going to be a problem going forward. Matt Francis, thank you very much for the support. And Dan, I'm really interested to see your thoughts on Wiley after this second outing.
So I'll keep it short. Wiley was okay. There were a lot of non-call holds. He hooked Max Crosby a lot, and Max Crosby was taking advantage of going inside on him multiple times and forcing a hook, forcing a hold. Specifically, if you look at that fourth down play on the goal line where Williams ends up scoring, I think it is, or what something like that. That's a hold. He just hooks him and takes him to the ground and doesn't get called. So there's a lot of stuff. I think he played up and down better than I would have anticipated, is what I'll say.
Yeah, fair enough. Good point. Shouting out the numbers. You guys are interesting with the numerals that you use. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Bradley, good question.
Excuse me.
With McKinnon out snapping Gore, again, I think that was plan dependent. I don't think that's an indictment of Gore. But you're right. It would be a mistake probably to send him back. And that said, they only had 5 inactives yesterday, so they have a couple of slots. I don't see them having to send anyone down. Could they? Yes. Maybe they fear about getting snap count to those guys, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Scott, yes. That block he was incredible, and he's only getting better. To play at this level as a rookie is really, really impressive. And I know you guys want me to call him all pro. I'll get there when we're, 17 weeks through the season.
I'll do it. He's an all pro. I got no worries about it. He's gonna be an all pro.
Hey, the voters are fickle, man. I'm not going on a limb.
I know.
Happy we won. It seemed the Raiders did not play much cover 2. You're right. Maybe it's because of our offense a ton. Do you think that they will go back last several weeks of production against cover 2? I think it will slow things down a little bit because, again, those throws are what Patrick likes to do. But I think this team has a feel for who they are at their core again, and I expect them to keep it up.
Yeah, it'll probably be just a come back to earth a little bit next week because I know that Dan Quinn is going to take what he's seen and apply it. So just be prepared for it not to look like that unless it does, and then well, it's over.
Well, and Dan's fired up too because he's coming off a stomping for his old team too. So his defense played well. He's pretty up. He's got Diggs and very good timing, Samuel, because you threw this one out right as I was going to get to it. Diggs is a tough one, and it comes down to this: he can't run with Tyreek. He can't run with McCole. So if somebody's going to step out in that third wide receiver spot, it's probably going to be against Diggs. That's a tall order, I think, this week.
It would make more sense to do that for Dan Quinn to just say, look, I'm going to bracket and I'm going to put Diggs on Byron Pringle, Josh Gordon. That's going to be tough. I don't think maybe Pringle can get him deep because he does like to make splash plays. If you guys remember, a double move can get him. If you sell it well enough, a double move can get him. So I'm going to be looking for that on Sunday.
I think I will too. A couple of questions about this as well. And Derek, I do expect slide. I expect Clyde to slide back into the offense and pick up where Darryl started off. But I also say this: I think Clyde might have lost a little target share. I think some platooning is probably not just going to happen. I think it's called for. I think Gore showed you some glimpses. I think what Darryl did last night certainly means that you can't take him back to 4 touches a game. I think you have to use all of your weapons all of the time. I think that's important. I'm not going to address the white on white guys. I'm not that superstitious. I have no idea whether that helps anybody or doesn't.
I'll just say I loved it.
Yeah, you like it?
It's great.
Max Carnage. I like that. Where are the tags on cover 3 work with the cover 2 shell that we've been getting? Am I missing that?
Yeah, I can't understand that, Max. I'm sorry. We might be able to get to it if you come back around and ask, but where are a tag on the cover 3 work? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I can't really decipher what you're trying to ask here.
Yeah, come back to us again and we'll hit it, Max. Yes, I apologize, Holly. I'm glad I admitted that to you before you heard it. Let's see. Patrick, we covered that. I definitely think that Creed is playing as the best center in the league right now from everything I've seen, pressure rate in particular. But like I said, let's get to week 17 before I name the all pros. Let's see. Do you think that it will translate when they're playing cover 2? Okay, we covered that one.
Yeah.
Max again. Will our attack of the cover 3 work the same as cover 2? And no, the holes are different. The exploitations that you have to employ are different as well. Take this one.
All right. Thank you, AP, for the super chat. Was Pat better or was the line better? Downfield block for 87 was fire. So it was both. The offensive line has been good, but it was even better against. Honestly, the Raiders have been very good at pass rush, especially with their front 4, and they actually blitzed him more than I've seen the Raiders typically blitz. They don't want to blitz a whole lot because they've been able to get pressure with their front 4. But Mahomes, lots of one hitch, get back, throw the ball. He was much more efficient with his pocket movement. It wasn't, I'm trying to get outside. I'm trying to hit one read and go. He was much more in control, and he was much faster through his reads. Very, very nice to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thank you, AP. Thank you, Joseph. Do you think the CH seems the same number of targets, opportunities to pass the game as Darryl? The same. I think, in all honesty, he's likely to get a little bit more because he will be the starter. They do want to reward it, and he generally doesn't like to give away a job due to injury. So I still think he'll be probably more of like a 60-40. What do you think, Dan?
That's what I'm hoping it goes to. I don't want to rag on Daryl, but you guys saw the run game is what it is. He's a 5, 6, 7 yard plotter, can get a big plus run at times. But just like every other running back that the Chiefs have outside of Jarek, anytime they try to stretch to the edge, nowhere. It goes nowhere. And I don't know why Andy Reid keeps trying to do it, but I would like to see somewhere between 65-35 for Clyde, because I do think he's that much better in the run game and as a pass catcher.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see what happens. He's earned his right to stick around.
The bottom line is when teams are going to play him like that deep, the running back's got to be somebody that you can use to exploit the defense. Daryl showed that, and I hope that gives Andy the confidence to put the confidence in the guys to call that more. And it is up to Patrick to deliver the ball, too. I will say that. And Cole, it's interesting that you say that. Yes, they call it the Death Star for the Vegas fans, but there is a guy, I don't remember his name, but it was around when they were building that stadium. He buried a Chiefs Kingdom flag underneath the 50-yard line. So it is like that little spot that Obi-Wan has to go to turn off the tractor beam and all that stuff in the original movie. Sorry, I got geeky there, Dan.
That's all right. I love it. I'm a Star Wars geek too, man. I honestly wanted to put Star Wars stuff up here, but my wife told me not to because it's my office. That was legit.
Zach, good point. Melvin didn't play as many snaps, but man, the ones that he did, yes. And that one arm maneuver, good Lord.
Man.
Good Lord.
That was,
He did play 21. It was down a bit, but I think that is, again, part of the rotation. I think the defensive four, your 5 best pressure producers last night were your starting 4 and Melvin. So that's working the way that it's designed to. Adam Roach, thank you for the question. This is going to be tough, but I do want to say you all, we'll get later in the week, we'll get to it. But bottom line, and Dan, you tell me if I'm wrong, this is still a team in Dallas that is up and down, and you never know if they're going to be a 3-point team like 2 weeks ago, or they're going to be like what you saw yesterday. So I'm not convinced that this is, a drubbing waiting to happen.
This really depends on Spagnuolo. Okay, you guys look at what the Broncos did. They did not blitz. They didn't blitz Dak at all. They sat in their coverages. They sat in their coverages and said, "Beat us." Okay. If Spags does what he likes to do and blitzes Dak, this is going to turn into a slugfest very, very quickly. That is my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. And if they are on rhythm like they were, I'm perfectly comfortable with that. Yeah. Susan, we didn't. I think Dan mentioned it. Number 1 in the league by PFF grading. Now let's take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
maybe a chunk of salt. But yes, it is nice to see him getting recognized. It's funny, number CB1 and CB2, according to PFF, will be playing this week because Trayvon Diggs is number 2, as I understand it. I haven't looked at that this week yet. I've been looking at the snap counts. But yeah, it's great to see him get the recognition. And quite frankly, I don't know what happened early in the season with Hughes getting the starts over him, but I'm glad to see that they came to their senses and figured it out. Scott, you've heard my thoughts on Sorensen. I'll let Dan answer this.
Dan, we've all piled on Dan. I think it was nice to see him get the interception, even though he took it away from Juan Thornhill. And you could tell that the team loved it for him too. It's when you're having a season like that, you need something. And he's not playing the most. He's not playing the best. It's just nice to see.
Fair enough.
That's it.
I'm with you. I like it, Flapjack. Daryl made up for the Super Bowl drop. I think with that catch. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, it's a much bigger game than Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Thank you for the support, buddy. This is a great one. Who's your midseason MVP?
Oh, man, this team's been so up and down, man. It's hard to really find a consistent player. And as much as I would say Patrick Mahomes normally, I think right now it's Creed Humphrey.
Wow.
I know it's hard to say, but he's literally playing as, like we've talked about, the best center in the NFL as a rookie. He's helping not just in the run game. He's literally moving he's moving people mover like he never did in college, basically. But he also wasn't asked to a whole lot. The Chiefs are asking this offensive line to be maulers now, and he's a mauler. He's pushing guys. He's protecting. I think that maybe I'll just give it to the interior. How about can I do that? Just give it to the interior 3. They have right now the best interior 3 in the NFL.
Sure, why not?
Just those 3 guys, my MVP.
I'm torn. I'll go the other side of the ball because I think this could have when it was really bad and they were the worst defense in the league, and yes, they were right down there. They still are in all intents. It could have gotten a lot worse if you hadn't had two guys playing. So I'll split it between Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed, because on the two sides of the ends of the defense, they kept it together enough to get to the point where they could recover now. And that is more of a feat than I think most people give credit for. RJ, nice
How's
to
it
see
going,
you.
man?
I need to get in touch with you. I had an idea and I haven't been able to follow up. So I will try to reach out here soon again. If not, we will connect. People saying the Chiefs are back. They ain't back. This is just a better version that we knew. They've evolved. I agree with you as far as Mahomes, but I think also they were shooting themselves a lot in the foot. It wasn't just him. It was the defense missing tackles. It was the defense missing takeaways. Yeah. It was the running backs and the receivers coughing things up too. So that part, but I agree with you. I think Patrick has evolved. And I think it was on a little bit display last night, but he was seeing a lot of the defense that he likes last night. So I think we will get there for certain. And guys, I'm falling far behind, so we're going to go fast for a bit. How about all the runs after the catch?
Yeah, it was great.
That was nice to see. That got him there, right?
Yeah, they used a ton of, and that's also with that cover 3. You're able to get them in space and move them because you don't have 3 linebackers sitting there.
Yeah. Rasta, the number 1 is still a very long stretch right now. It's not out of the question, but Tennessee has to lose multiple games, 3 in order for the Chiefs to come get and take that over. But the Chiefs are 4th right now. They did get that done last night. Let's see. We just had one. I wanted your opinion on Orlando the last couple of weeks. Has he pulled it out enough that you like an extension now?
We're seeing Mahomes help him a lot too when he's not having to go back 10 yards. Like this is what he's much better at. So I'm not ready to say that the money that he wanted he's going to get, but I think we're starting to see the creep up, especially if they keep this level of play up the rest of the season, back into that 20 million per year atmosphere.
I like it. Dan Pono would like you to do something on the offensive line as well.
We'll have a nice offensive film review this week.
Nice. Hi, Dan. Just a reminder from Eternal. CH is better than D Will, and if they don't let him catch passes, I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm right
you
there.
You won't
with
be alone, Eternal. I guarantee you. Let's see, Miss Holly.
Hi, Holly. Appreciate the love.
234. I'm sensing a pattern here, Miss Holly. Scott, if I click it right, will Andy have a tough decision on CH possibly being a number 2 running back? No. Andy ain't going to do that.
Nope.
Casey Masterpiece, how are you? How do you guys feel about Sneed's play? Don't tell Tyron. And Tyron, if you're watching, I still love you, man. But LJC is going to be the best DB on this roster next year. I'm just going to tell you.
He's saying that because he doesn't think that Tyron's going to be here. But
even if he is.
He's so good. The tackles, the blitzing, man, he's incredible.
If Tyron's on the roster next year, he and LJ will be right there.
Yeah.
Because he is on the way up, and just the physicality that you've seen the last few weeks from him, coming down, blitzing, doing the things that Tyron has made his living on, that he isn't quite up to speed now that he's over 30 and that kind of thing. It's not a slight against Tyron at all. Good Lord, I'm not toxic, I promise you. I'm just saying that's how far and how good L'Jarius Sneed has become. Flapjack, thank you again. You're on fire tonight, brother. Appreciate it. Char threw a moonball like a 5-year-old. It's a pump pass kick contest. So Dan basically robbed a 5-year-old.
Oh.
Yes, but what's scary is that was the kind of balls that Patrick was throwing up 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yep.
So let's remember
that. Yeah.
It is about pressure. It's about panic. It's about frustration and trying to make something happen that maybe can't happen. Sean, good question. Is Creed's pancake the other night?
It's the best thing ever.
The flop was nice. I like that.
Literally one of the best things I've ever seen.
Masterpiece of the Chiefs. Can the Chiefs still get the second? Yes, they are definitely in that. If they beat the Cowboys and 2 other teams lose that are only half a game ahead of them, they would be the number 2 next week. So yeah, it is definitely within grasp. It's just a long way to catch up. They basically have given up all the tie breaks to all the teams ahead of them. So like they can't just like be even. They have to like be a whole game ahead. Adam, thank you. Did any listen to you guys who basically run chips and edgers?
Yeah.
He did a lot. The tight ends were in there a lot. I mean, you got you got nearly a full game out of the backup tight ends and the fullback.
Yeah, they had to. They literally had to chip because Ngakoue and Crosby have been so good this year, and you didn't want to have him face him against, Wiley all night. I think Wiley did, like I said, he played better than I thought, but you have to help him. You have to.
Yeah. Cole, yes, Jody Fortson and Derek Gore will be on the roster next year.
Yes.
JC, Josh Gordon game
We'll
incoming.
see.
I hope you're right. I am really, really hopeful. Info, how are you? Do you think Mahomes will ever QB sneak again at all?
Never.
If we're calling it, he won't ever touch it.
Never.
I mean, it's going to get to the point now where they're going to see Blake Bell. And I say Blake Bell does every sneak from here on out.
I agree.
I also say that you direct snap to him, let him throw it to somebody because he can.
Yes. That's see, and that's the next level adjustment Andy Reid's going to make on this stuff. They're going to do the comeback. He's going to start to get back, and then he's going to do the whole, and then he's going to jump past it. There's so many different things you can do off of this.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, when Blake Bell isn't on the roster anymore, Travis Kelce was a high school quarterback. He can do it too. It's just not as pretty.
McCole Hardman was too.
I saw Blake Bell throw some passes in training camp this year, and I was actually pretty impressed with that aspect. Hey, welcome, Austin.
Hey, nice to see you, man. Good job.
Nice to see more members coming in. If you guys are rookie and above when you join, send me that email, rgrpodcast@gmail. I think I have it right here. Yes, and then I can get you the Discord invite, and you can become part of the band. That's what we're saying anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, did I run out of chat? Something went wrong with my chat. This is going to be
go.
ugly, folks. Uh-oh. All right, so I lost something. I'm going to have to go back to the super chatters. I've lost a number of questions, unfortunately, you guys.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Trying to find the timestamps are correct. Okay, there. Oh, maybe I was able to scroll back. There's
There
Austin.
you go.
Cool. There's William. Bill Bradley. Glad you're feeling better, Dan.
Thank
You do sound better, Dan.
Yeah, Mike. I just got a cough. That's it. Like it's
almost gone.
go away.
Do you think the Chiefs will give Kyle Long a chance to start at right tackle when he is activated?
I don't think so, unless it's still Wiley there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if either Remmers or Niang is back, it's their job. But I will say this. It's going to take him a while to play into shape, too. So it may not be a thing. So just because he gets activated doesn't mean he can go into the ball game, is my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Chad, why is Josh Gordon not okay? Sorry,
we talked a bit about Josh Gordon, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm just trying to pick out question marks at this point, you guys. Josh will get his. I'm confident he will get there. Hydra, thank you very much. Armani Watts had some playing time in the Packers game, played very well at the end of the last game. Do you think they're giving him more snaps? I hope so.
I do hope so, because one thing he always flashes, dude's just, and you can't teach what he has. He has a nose for the football. He just finds it, and in my opinion, you got to get some players like that on the field a bit more. Armani Watts might not be knowing every single thing that happens on that defense, but he knows where the ball is.
Yeah, he can find it, and that's
yes,
that's a large part of the battle. You guys.
Yeah, just get him in that direction.
Pie Dessert, do you expect us to play with rhythm and tempo so to clear out the offense? I hope that they do. It'll depend, I think, on what Patrick sees, because playing that quick is when Patrick understands what he wants to do. I think it's an internal thing for him. So when we see too high, when we see some cover sixes where they give you a 2 and then they drop into zones a half and 2 quarters, that's going to mess with him some too. Yeah. But I think he's going to be fine. Casey Messer with Chiefs beat Dallas. Do they run the table? It is certainly a possibility. Dallas is the last really big hurdle. Bengals were hot early. I think they've cooled off significantly. They could warm back up. So let's hold it there for a minute, but we'll get there. Finn, I knew you would dig Star Wars talk.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're here for that. Fishing Time, how are you? Thank you for the support. What are your thoughts on Bolton compared to Hitchens?
Nick Bolton's a better Mike linebacker than Hitchens is. And honestly, I don't think it's very close.
And quite frankly, Hitchens is there to play coverage. That's why he's in the nickel base. He can play Sam and play better coverage and not put Nick out of position. I just think they're being stubborn. I think they need to switch their roles in the base. Screen Game was on fire. Frey, you're right. What's wrong with the Star Wars in your office? Holly wanted to know.
I don't know. I'll ask her and I'll get back to you guys. I honestly don't know.
Casey wants to know. Casey, you are full of good questions tonight. Do you think they've turned a corner on the defense? Is it stabilized?
I'll say maybe. And the reason I say that is because they've played teams that aren't necessarily the best offensively without their quarterbacks, and the Raiders have been falling apart. I feel for the organization to an extent because of everything that's gone on, and it sucks for them to have to find ways to play after some of these guys get drained mentally from what's happening in the organization. So I need to see it against this caliber offense that they're going to play on Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. You come play, they're going to score some points, but if I can see the continued improvement everywhere, then yes, I will say they were 100% back on track. But you're seeing good movement, confidence building play, and you're seeing good movement. So yes, we have the maybe. That's why it's a maybe.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, you played a bad Giants team. You played the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, and you played a quickly declining Raiders team. So that's all good. These are teams you should be beating.
Correct.
And stomping the Raiders last night was my expectation. You guys remember when they're like, oh, you're way too confident this week. Well, that's why it happens, because those guys are those guys.
Yep.
Gooch is driving the bus. He's getting a little bit dizzy out there around Allegiant. I like it, Stevie. Thank you for the super chat.
And
Christo,
hi, Stevie. Thank you.
Confidence to win the division and get the 1 seed. Win the division, I am 90%.
They're in the driver's seat.
Yes. Number 1 seed, I am 2%.
Yeah. At this point, even 2 seed, I mean, the 1 seed is almost out of reach. You have to have the Titans do what everyone else has done this year and just come back to earth.
Yeah.
Which is possible. This year's been crazy.
Yeah. Curious, were we running more rub routes to free people up? Can we get away with that downfield against better secondaries going forward? There were more than I'm used to seeing, but I wouldn't say it was a lot.
Definitely not. I think what you saw more of was them using blocks. I'll put those in quotes. Well, the air quote blocks, because you have, like, Travis Kelce had a couple where he blocks and goes out for a pass. On that Byron Pringle touchdown, I'm going to break it down on Wednesday. He does a stock. He fakes the stock block, and then he splits the safety in the corner.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff you have to utilize more. And I've been asking Byron Pringle to get him to use some more lateral movements. He was getting open on over routes, getting him moving in multiple, not just these curl routes. I need to see some slants. I need to see some overs. I need to see these double moves, because Byron Pringle could do it.
Did you see what Tyreek did on a slant last night, folks? This stuff works.
God. Even McCole Hardman on that drag route was able to get a first down. Utilize these plays, man.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they started to get their rhythm the other night. I think it will feed upon itself. And a couple of rub routes here and there is fine. No, you can't get away with that long term, because people will figure it out. There are better secondaries out there, like you said. Aaron, I did get this question, so we are caught up. I'm about 12 minutes behind the chat right now, you guys, so I'm fighting to catch up here. Seth, is Kelce block screen a new wrinkle, or have I been missing it? No, that particular screen was new, and I'm glad that they went to it. I like the middle screens for this team. Giving all the Chiefs have been through, I think the Chiefs are poised for a good season. I'm with you, Casey.
Yep.
Stevie, to be fair to Sorensen, if he doesn't take the INT from Thornhill, Juan likely drops it. The wide receiver bear hugging him and separated his arms. Yeah, there was a lot of contact there. So at the end of the day, it's what I was saying. Like, the Chiefs came away with it. Don't get too hung up on who it was, but good for all of them for being in a position to make a play. Thank you, Stevie. WW, why was the screen game so much better this week, and we'll continue to see more screens?
Because they were effective in the middle and intermediate parts of the field.
And they were attacking where the Raiders are weak.
Yeah, and the pass rush of the Raiders are very undisciplined, if you guys didn't know. A lot of edges understand that Andy Reid wants to call screens every once in a while. So they're going to pay attention to the offensive line. Max Crosby wants to get to Patrick Mahomes, and Ngakoue wants to get to Patrick Mahomes. They used that against them, and they used it effectively.
Yeah, and they have to continue that, because they will see it again. Howard, thank you for the super chat. I am relieved too, because had this gone on another 4 or 5 games, I was concerned about Patrick's overall confidence.
Mental, man.
Yeah, it will drain on you. Those are tough seasons to go through, especially when you've come from that kind of superstardom. Thank you, Howard. K. Rogers. I just want to sing The Gambler every time I see your name. Sorry. Every time I see a kicker punt return, I get nervous. All those guys have fumbled. You're right. There's something going on there. And for as much as you want to give the special teams unit a plus for the fake from Tommy, that's for you, Holly. You got to control the ball better. I like Hughes. I would have argued that he controlled he still had possession. He didn't have control when he hit the ground, and that's what knocked it out. But I don't get to make.
I would have said that it shouldn't have been enough to overturn based on that because you called it a not fumble on the play, and since there's no loss of possession, but again, the movement is all they care about, and yeah, but I still think it should be Hughes going forward as the punt returner, though.
I gotcha. Gooch just got off the plane. The disturbance in the force.
That's right, man. You know.
What do you know? Positive talk of Sorensen. I will not stand for this blasphemy. You know what? Every dog has his day.
Yeah, man.
The guy does have a couple of them.
Even a blind squirrel, man.
But it hasn't changed my opinion.
That's pretty much what he's been.
It has
today.
not changed my opinion in any way, shape, or form. Max Carnage, mock something up for me. Let me see it.
Yeah,
buddy.
man. Let's see it.
We are happy to give feedback. Alyssa, thank you. Pick your favorite play out of these. Daryl's TD catch, Townsend's throw, or Fenton's punch.
This isn't even close. It's
No,
Daryl's
it's not.
touchdown.
It's Fenton's bunch.
I was about to say, I know you're just joking. Daryl Moss. I mean, it was Abraham, which he was just a doormat all game. But I get you go up and moss somebody. Yeah, that's what you deserve that.
And I have to think that's number one. Randy, if this is not your number one this week, we're gonna have issues. Do not listen to your producers. Put it where it belongs. You guys, I do think that the delay route concept is something that they have to continue going forward. I see more of you talking about that. I think definitely they used to call it just a delay Y, where it would just be really like a little bubble into the flat. That's perfectly fine. But when you have pass route runners like this in Kelce, when Fortson gets back, even Noah can do this because he does run decent routes. Unlike his hands that were not his normal hands last night in those first two targets. There are options there. And what it does is it sets the defense up to see what they want to see and drop to their spot, especially the deep safeties. And then you hit them something different that exploits that particular drop. That's what it's all about. Let's see if I missed anything. What's ETA on tackles coming back?
Niang might play this week, maybe. We don't really know for a fact on anything, but Remmers is out for at least 2 more weeks. So
yeah,
you got to hope that Niang comes back like soon.
Wednesday, when they get back from their day off tomorrow, we should have a bigger update from Andy, and we'll let you know from there.
I don't want to see him against Micah Parsons. I don't.
No, that's going to be difficult. Although he's more fleet of foot than anybody else that they have to put there. So. I mean Niang. Sorry, I have Niang on the brain.
Yeah.
Cheeseball. Why are we using shotgun runs with Williams behind Wiley? 3 times negative plays. Down he'll be behind Brown, please. I agree with you in principle, but you got to hit the delays. You got to hit the draws.
And those outside zone plays are meant to take advantage of when you're gashing them with those run plays. Then you find those cutbacks, and unfortunately, they just didn't work out. And you know that they can't get to the edge, so that's just kind of how it is.
Miss Holly, thank you for the super chat.
7473.
I like that. I was born right between those. That's how old I am. Sorry, Dan. Wow, I can't believe I just gave that away. It's only been 3 years I've been avoiding saying that. Never mind. There's nothing to see here. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Edit.
Thoughts on keys for the Chiefs to beat the Cowboys? Besides the Raiders, Dallas is the only team in the play that have specific interest in the Chiefs defeating. It's personal. Oh, I like that. Bonus, can anyone guess the meaning of my super chat amount? Ooh.
I can't guess the meaning of your super chat amount.
You're a big Allegretti fan? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But yes, thank you for the super chat. And there's one thing for me is the Cowboys still want to run the football. This is still very much a Mike McCarthy coached offense. As much as they've put their imprint on it, I think that he still wants to run the ball. If you can take away Ezekiel Elliott, which the Chiefs' run defense has actually been kind of good the last couple of weeks. I mean, a little bit here and there with the Packers. But if you can do that and not blitz Dak Prescott, and if you can get some pressure, like this is all a lot of ifs because Dak is playing, he had his game off the injury. But you have to do a lot of this. You have to stop Zeke first. You have to be able to get pressure up front with 4. Because Dak's very good against the blitz, much like Mahomes. And that's the key for me. You have to stop the run first and get after Dak with the front 4. If they can't do that, it's going to be dicey.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Zeke is the key, but we've seen what they can do with Henry. They got A.J. Dillon and Jones stopped from Green Bay. That was a big task as well. Like, I feel like they're building up towards that, and that is a lot of Noddy and Reed being supplemented with Chris Jones inside again, thanks to Melvin.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to. On the other side, I will say this. If I'm Patrick Mahomes, if you see Micah Parsons drop down to the edge and he's standing up, you run the RPO or the option right at him. That's how you take Micah Parsons out of this game plan. You don't let him chase you from the backside and bail out of the right-hand side of the pocket. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yep.
Oh, that makes me a little nervous. I feel the toxicity rising. We're about to have positive talk about Frank. Just waiting for it. Hi, Dan. Oh, Gooch, we wouldn't do that to you much.
Yeah, I didn't know him that much in that game.
Did Holly ever tell us what that 74-73 was for?
She does eventually, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're way far ahead of me then.
Yeah, I just keep up with the chat. I see what happens way down there.
Yeah, you're like live. Don, imagine if the Chiefs had listened to me and drafted Diggs when I went on and on about him all draft cycle.
I try not to do that to myself, guys. Like, I try, because you're just going to get yourself upset. Like, I really try not to do that. You can't change it anyway. So what's the use?
California, who is the wide open wide receiver who probably still scores that Mahomes missed on the jump ball to Williams? I don't know.
I have to look at the all 22, which I'll have tonight. So
rock and roll. Stack bundles, thank you very much. Welcome back. Seen a lot more Kelce blocking and then releasing on tight end delays last night. Big yards, man coverage, more wrinkles like that to come. Yes, and I think everybody. Yes, exactly. It's something they will build upon, and then you're going to see misdirection out of it. And
man,
that's what I'm here for. Pick your favorite. Okay, we got that one. Not a question, but Sean said, don't worry about money-wise. The fact that you guys are here and watch minutes, that's what YouTube cares about, and that helps us. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. That's all we want, just to be able to talk with you guys.
Lego, I heard something about Katie Sowers just a week ago. The Chiefs didn't hire her full-time. It was a camp internship. That's what it always is with the Bill Walsh internship. And she did not accept a job. I think somebody interviewed her like a week or two ago. I got some notice on it, but I don't remember where that was. I'll take a look. Do you think she could stick around as KC? I think she could come back. It was interesting that she wasn't coaching O-line, which she had worked with before, or wide receivers that she had worked with before. She was with Tom Melvin in the tight ends. So I'd be real interested to see what Jody Fortson had as an experience with her as a coach. Maybe we'll get Jody back on.
I'll say that's been a nice question.
Y'all ready to make Tyreek the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL? Yes.
They have to, and I think they will.
Yeah, and I'm not going to have a problem with it.
Nope. And if he takes a team-friendly deal, it's all better. Granted, he had to.
Holly, you're wicked smart.
I don't think that was what it was, but
oh no, okay. Because was that 68-69 though? I don't know.
Yeah,
I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay. Do we win out? Sean, you're the man. I want to know what you think. Hit that in your next video too. But
yeah, man.
Win out? I will say no. They have another loss in them.
Yep, me too.
And that's okay.
That is definitely okay.
Lego, did we take a victory lap? I have heard nothing of a victory lap yet.
I doubt it.
Gooch, this is the first game where PM15 didn't have happy feet. His head wasn't bouncing. He wasn't playing fast and telegraphing his throws. Is this Andy taking back control or PM finally starting to trust? I'm going to say yes, but it's a total guess.
He saw cover 3 last night. I mean, he was comfortable. And when you let Patrick Mahomes play comfortably, that's what you get. You get the hitch, throw. You get him sitting in the pocket, waiting for plays to develop. He's not rushed. He didn't look. That's one of the things that's been a huge issue this year is his brain has been sped up so much because you talked about it a little bit earlier, not seeing the safety split into that cover 6 to the halves and quarters, and it speeds everything up. But he didn't have to speed up last night. He was like, okay, he's not open. Here open. I got. He was able to read everything. So he was just really, really comfortable.
It felt like, no, I'm not going to put it that way. Felt like Patrick had meditated. He was much more relaxed. I thought it felt like the game flowed around him rather than him completely pumping and trying to set the tempo of every single play. And that's when he was making mistakes, in my opinion.
It felt like Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh. Oh,
We all,
Qui-Gon. I'm
we
gonna
all
name my
cry
next
a little
dog
bit.
Qui-Gon, I think. The only place in Vegas where the house loses. I like it that
Oof,
way.
I like it. Thank you, Flap. It's awesome.
Good job. Where can Mahomes improve going forward? Seems like he's putting the heat on a lot of passes and he doesn't need to. Would like to see more touch. My wife was talking about that last night. Like, why is it so hard for them to catch some of these things? And part of that is because he likes to throw in those tight windows, but those windows aren't necessarily the same old ones. So I could see backing off a little bit. But I will say this: the faster he guns it to, and the faster those guys can turn up and get yak.
They're talking more about the deep shots, like specifically the one to Tyreek that he just overcooked. Just that's the one that you take a little bit off and you lead him into the end zone, and he let him too hard into the goal, out of bounds. So yeah,
I feel like Patrick's just like internally, the two dudes in his head, don't throw it unless you can. And the other guy's like, look, he's open. And he just like a little overhyped. Yeah,
This is like, I see him.
Hercules. Like that's what it comes down to for me. I hope I get to talk to him someday. I've never interviewed Patrick Mahomes. How many more starts does Wiley get before he runs out of stamina? 1.25 is my thought.
So if they help him with more chips like that, I think you can get a couple games out of him if you need to. If he's starting any more past the next 2 games, you're in trouble.
Yeah. The more he puts on tape this year, the worse it will be.
Yep. That outside inside is not going to be something he clearly had trouble with Crosby, and it's not going to be any better with some of these other guys you got to face.
Yeah. Okay, I'm down to like 10 minutes behind. We're picking up speed here. Thank you. If you guys would put the question marks ahead of your question, that will definitely help me. And
definitely,
Aaron won't have to remind me of things. How much has Honey Badger proved for an extension? I feel like it's been up and down.
If he wants that max contract, not enough, in my opinion. But I'm sure he would disagree with that, which is fine.
I think there's 2 very different things going on. I think in the locker room, he's proven all he needs to prove.
Yeah.
To the ownership and to the leadership, meaning the front office and Brett Veach and Andy Reid, I think some of the distractions he's allowed himself to create have been a problem for them overall. They don't want to see their leaders embroiled in this bashing of fans online and all this kind of crap.
Yeah.
But he also has not played as well this season as he did last season. So there's a little bit of that as well. And every year that goes by, it makes it harder and harder to pay him.
Yep.
Here's Max again. If we shut down the run next week, are our secondary good enough to stop the pass against Cooper? And is Galladay even in?
You mean Gallup?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gallup. I want Kenny Galladay on this roster is my problem.
Yeah. No, all 3 of them are back. So it would be a collective effort. CeeDee Lamb is going to find his way against Charvarius Ward, and he's going to toast him multiple times. They're going to have to rotate help over Charvarius Ward against both Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb because he doesn't have the quick twitch to keep up.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
If the Chiefs were to pick up another star safety to go with Juan Thornhill or Matthew, would the Chiefs have the best secondary in the league? No. Because you're still undermanned at corner.
Yeah.
The guys are playing well as a unit, but they're still not elite corners. Well, one is.
You got Snead, and as much as Fenton's playing very well, he's not an elite corner. Ward is what he is, and I still think, I know that there was I thought something earlier about why people have asked to draft a corner high, so you can facilitate some help to the safeties. There's a reason that Matthew is not as active this year as he has been in the past, and I think that they're having to utilize him more as help for some of the corners to give them some help, like Ward and Fenton. And it's helped them play better, but it's also put him in a position where he can't make those plays that we're used to seeing. So that's why you take some resources, give it to the corner, because if you have 2-star corners, you can bring Matthew back and you can say, hey, look, now we're going to unlock you a little bit more. Maybe draft a safety in the day 3, help him out a little bit.
Yeah. And unleash him.
Yeah.
Speaking of unleashing, has Noah been unleashed? Yeah. I hope so. He played a good number of snaps, and I find that more positive than just making the touchdown catch.
Yeah.
So let's cross our fingers, but we won't know until we know, Alan.
3 targets is good for me. I like it.
Yeah, you happy with that? Okay.
For a guy who doesn't get targeted, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Max, if you're not in the States, you might not have a join button. I know there are people that are deployed around the world, like in Germany, you can't join as a member and that kind of stuff if you're in that locale. But otherwise, it's over there underneath Dan, or it's
it should be down here somewhere
on mobile. Or on mobile, it's next to our icon. Bill, are you trying to trigger me?
Me too. Like,
shouldn't Sorensen be inducted into the Ring of Honor?
No.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yep, just leave it at that.
Else. You guys, yes, they can run the table. It is a possibility, but I don't know that it will. I won't say that it will. Late getting here. Welcome, Curtis. Did Andy recall this game and not EB? Didn't see him much on the sideline. EB not the OC after this game. Don't know. Those headsets are all open. The 3 of them are talking to each other all the time, and I don't know who's actually making the decisions. My guess is it's idea to Andy making the yes, okay, go with it.
Probably. But we'll never know.
No, we won't. Till I break that frequency.
Yeah, right.
Anyone else pissed Dan stole the pick from Juan? Nah, hey. Better than that than him standing there going, hey, let Juan get it, and nobody comes up with it.
Yeah, right. Someone make a decision. Go get the ball.
Susan, do we sign Noddy? Yes,
very much.
Tomorrow if I had my choice. All right, he's not even eligible, is he? I'm overdoing it, but yes, at earliest convenience, I would bring him back.
Very much.
Dan, what do you think?
I think we'll probably have to get him on the field a little bit more, generate some pass rush against Dak Prescott. So I think you're going to see a good sprinkling at all 4 quarters of Melvin Ingram. There's too many Ingrams in the NFL.
I've been doing it all week. It's just one after another. Big Chief Sean, folks, if you haven't checked out Sean's channel too, the links are in the description of his videos he does for us, but go check him out at Big Chief Sean and Football, and you will find it instantly. What do you think has gotten into these guys, the vibe back together? Can you see them, that they're clearly see that they are happy, smiling, and becoming more their normal selves? I have trouble. I wish I could see them in practice because I don't know if that's the chicken or if that's the egg from beating your rival so handily. Like, I don't know. I would hope to think that it started practice and they can build on that for every opponent would be my hope.
I think it was the over exertion on social media with Anthony Hitchens and with Tyrann Mathieu. That all came back to bite them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think since then you've seen tight-lipped business. They've played. They've had more energy. They've had more focus. I think that refocused them. I think they had a talking to behind closed doors. I think everyone got their what's in order. And Andy Reid was like, look, y'all need to get this together because you're doing all this stuff on social media. And at the end of the day, like you guys know how I feel. You have your own right to do so, but you have to deal with the consequences. I guarantee you, Andy Reid was like, these are the consequences of what happens when you deal with this. And ever since then, they've been very much more back to themselves. You've seen more effort on the field, and it's been much better.
Just knock on wood. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Ryan is convinced that Rashad Fenton is now the number 2 CB on this roster. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah,
he's the second best corner on this team. It's not close.
Okay. Gold Tau, they put Parsons on Kelce. I will throw a party.
Please bring it up. He is a souped up version of Nick Bolton. He has I'm going forward. If you get him covering anybody, guess what? It's over.
Yeah, I will take that all day, all night, and twice on Sunday. Max, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe we'll try it again on Thursday. Come back for Chief of the North and see if we can try it then. I don't know. That's a YouTube thing that I don't really have much control over. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Oh yeah, thank you very much, folks. We
awesome.
Did break 20K.
20. Yes,
it's nice. And welcome to all you new members and
very much
and
thank
new subs
guys.
As well. Dan, you missed it. We had a grand in the chat last night.
Woo!
That's pretty good for in season. We've only done that a couple of times in the past.
That's awesome.
Guys, so, and that's thanks to you guys spreading the word as well. So very much appreciate all of you.
Appreciate you guys so much.
Glad I caught this. Hey, glad you're here, Trish.
Yeah.
We need more ladies' perspectives on this channel. I have to tell you, my wife's like, It's just you guys hanging out, just like every other Monday. That's what my wife tells me every time. Are our receivers physical enough to play traditional West Coast offense?
The Chiefs don't run a traditional West Coast offense.
And quite frankly, a traditional West Coast offense is not about contact. It's not about jump balls. If you think back to the early days of Jerry Rice, John Taylor, it was about physical at the start of the route, but then it was about acceleration and the ability to separate.
Can you say go Chiefs?
We wanted you to come here too, Avery. Oh, she can't hear me.
Can you say go Chiefs?
Go Chiefs.
Good job.
Good job. That was nice. I like it. Avery is our official mascot now.
Yep, she definitely is.
Cheeseball. The open wide receiver is DeMarcus Robinson on the Williams play. Open by 8 yards, easy 15 plus.
Okay. That's fine. He wasn't going to moss anybody, so I'm okay with him throwing it to Darryl.
Right, and quite frankly, from the way I remember Patrick scrambling, I'm not sure he could see him through the traffic. So who knows? But yeah, it happens. Night.
They say good night.
Bye. How you doing, Mac? Thanks for the support. Appreciate it, man. Okay, I loved what I saw.
you.
Just a few overthrows from Patrick. Throw some cold water on the game. What's your biggest remaining concern?
Consistent offensive play. That's it.
We will find out a lot if they look the same in not just the opening 15, but deep into the second quarter. If they look the same against the Cowboys, we know that they've gotten it back on track.
Yeah.
Is Lawrence still hurt?
Gregory just got hurt.
Right, but I thought DeMarcus Lawrence was
He
out
might be coming back. I don't know if he's back yet or if he might come back this week, knowing Cowboys.
Figures.
But yes, they have a pass rush.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see where they put Parsons and if they do attack the right-hand side. I keep saying that I'm expecting teams to load the right tackle, and they don't do it for some reason. So
it's because they can't.
It is what it is. Mac, thank you for the support. Appreciate your question.
Oh, yeah,
Scott, I skipped back and forth. I did it in the wrong order.
Okay.
With Creed Humphrey having a wrestling background, will this be a trend? It's always been a trend, man.
Yeah.
Wrestlers have been some of the best offensive linemen in the history of the league. That's the only reason I ever got to play. Draw play seems non-existent in this offense. Is it just the offensive scheme, or do they think that it's a low percentage play? Right now, with a still meshing offensive line, it's not the best play, but they have run it a couple of times. They don't run counter enough for my liking, to tell you the truth, but that is also the offensive line has to be functional as a group. I think they'll get there.
Yeah, they want to pass. They still want to throw the ball. Like at the end of the day, they don't want to use too many runs. They do enough to keep, at least right now, the defense honest a little bit. Still having some success with it. I think that they need to do a little bit more, but they're doing okay.
Yeah. Curtis D. Will is a free agent after the season. You are correct. Yes, I think they do try to re-sign him. I don't think it takes a lot. Maybe $2 million, like the old Damian Williams contract number, that kind of thing. He won't break the bank. He wants to be a Chief. He enjoys playing with Clyde. They're really good friends. They were at LSU too. Like there's a lot that goes into that. And quite frankly, he's earned their trust. He's earned a bit of a payday. He's not going to be an $8 million back. So why not have him?
Yeah. Unless he's looking for it. I mean, then you can just say, okay.
Yeah. Gold Tal, you do have a point. Parsons is pretty good against the screen. He has a nose for it. And so maybe you fake the screen and hit.
That's exactly what I was about to say. just give it a pump. Just give it a pump and just hit it over the top.
Ooh, just leak one offensive lineman out there so you can still move the pocket a little bit. You're in business.
Oh.
Gooch, you're the man. Thank you. When I say control, I mean play call. Seems like there is less audibling, more screens, short passes, no specific big strike calls until the end. Yeah, I would agree with that. I saw a couple of plays where I felt like it was baked in as an option route, and a couple of guys took off where I think Patrick was a little surprised to see that, but I felt like the play call was more deliberate overall against the Raiders.
I agree.
Okay. Good question, Night Hunter. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, for his contract right now, 100%. He's the last couple of games, he is turning it on. He's getting pressure. He's stopping the run much better. He's definitely playing better. And unfortunately, he's also made our good friend Colin Saunders inactive.
I think Colin's still hurt is what it is. It's not necessarily just numbers because they had plenty of spots this week. From what I understand, he's been on the bike at practice and stuff like that. So it's not fully healed yet.
Okay,
but
that makes me feel better.
I will say this too, Night Hunter. He's worth the contract if he plays like this the rest of the way. If he disappears again, then I would say he didn't live up to it and he shouldn't come back. He's at a tipping point for me, Jaron Reed is.
I get it.
Has Andy changed or modified his play calling? Yes, but he does that every week.
Yeah.
I think Dan hit it early and we've hit it all night.
Yeah.
They modified their play calling to attack a defense they know very well and they've seen for a number of years. And Gus Bradley's version of it in particular, they're very good at exploiting.
Yeah, they figured that out a while ago.
Yeah. And hey, part of this is what they went into the Super Bowl with. This was the miscalculation. And I know we're over time. We're going to wrap it up here in a minute, you guys. This is what happened in the Super Bowl. They went into their game plan thinking that Todd Bowles was going to stick to what he does and wasn't going to change it up, just like Bradley did last night. And they expected to be able to execute what they needed to execute. And that's why it all fell apart.
Yep.
I still think that was a mistake. I still think I would have had cover 2, cover 4 beaters ready for this game. Maybe they did, and they just didn't have to use them. But I think that they still have to be prepared for it. Let's see. Jared, I'm not going to get into draft stuff here as we're wrapping up. We got plenty of time for that. Has Ingram freed up Reed to get to the QB more often? Not necessarily.
Chris Jones is freeing everybody up because he's playing at defensive tackle.
Well, and I think Melvin has freed Chris up.
Yeah.
Because now they can't double 2 guys.
Correct.
So, I noticed I wanted to say 3 or 4 times that they chose to double Reed, not Chris Jones last night.
I don't understand that.
That's Derek Carr, in my opinion. That's missing what's going on. That guy. Ooh, that guy. Why did they move CG to the interior more? Because he wasn't productive enough on the outside. He's more comfortable at home. He did play some snaps at end last night, and I won't say that it was like not fruitful. He did produce the most pressures.
He almost got that sack. He just fell down. He was too fast. He was too fast on the inside move.
I have never been accused of that. Let's see. 2 on the left, 4 on the right. Oh, no, 10 on the left, 4 on the right. So 14 of his 32 snaps. No, 14 versus 32 on the inside. Yeah. So
that's about where it should be. Maybe a little bit
that's a pretty good balance.
Outside,
but what is that? 60, 40, 70, 30, something like that?
It's about right where it should be.
That works. Right. Yeah. Noah Gray got a couple of Jody Fortson's targets last night. I agree with that, Max.
I'm beside myself that Jody Fortson is done for this season.
Scott, I have no idea. I hadn't seen that Mahomes was bringing plays to it, but maybe he did. I will say this. Both Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes in their post-game comments were very cagey, but both of them did, in a very subtle way, let you know that lap around Arrowhead was definitely on their minds this week, and they were pissed off.
They should have been.
I like them pissed off. I'm just going to say that. Let's see. Any more questions? Oh, we got Tom's back. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
In his humble opinion, that play at the Creed to draw the offsides was genius. Also, how high would it rank in your O-line and the best ones in the league?
Right now, the Chiefs' offensive line is a top 5 unit in the NFL.
This week, they definitely are. Last week was a little bit suspect, though, mostly because of Wiley. But
collectively, as much as they can without Andrew Wiley, he's only a replacement part. You can only kind of give it a half grade there. But with Niang in there, with Remmers in there, they are a top 5 unit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Steven, is Hitchens helping this defense, or should Bolton move back to the MLB? I think we both feel that Hitch can help in the base, but it should be Bolton at middle in the base.
Yep.
Now, that said, I do think Nick Bolton should come off the field when it's just 2 linebackers.
Yep.
That's just the way it is. It is a coverage-specific set. So, let's see. You guys, we do have some great gear in the store. I am still looking for a hat vendor. I've gotten several samples during the season. I try to just pick and choose. I haven't gotten anything that I liked, so I'm not going to put out hats until I like the quality of them. So
Right.
just kind of bear with me. We'll get there. Scott, can we see Bolton and Gay stopping Zeke? Absolutely.
Nick Bolton, honestly, if the Chiefs want to stop Ezekiel Elliott, they should move Nick Bolton to Mike for this game. That's what they should do. If they want to stop, if they are committed to stopping the run, that's what they should do. Stop with this nonsense of having him as a Will, which he can't play. He can't play Will. It's just not his wheelhouse. Put him at middle linebacker and get him downhill quickly. He can. We saw him do it to Derrick Henry. He came prepared for that game to play Derrick Henry. He's going to come to play against Zeke. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, this will be a good one. Where'd it go? I just lost it. Okay, Bradley, if you were DC, how would you defend against the Cowboys?
I mean, you guys know how I kind of just told you about it, but you can't play man. You can't play man. Okay. Not only are the Chiefs already bad at man coverage, which was exploited earlier, but they have two exceptional route runners. Okay. So I have to play run first with Zeke. Like I have to play. I probably, as much as I want to play nickel, like I want to play nickel so badly because they have such great weapons. The only way I would do that is if you had another year of Nick Bolton and Willie Gay of experience, then I could get away with playing that. But they're going to have to play in their base a little bit more often and stop the run first. And then you have to play more cover 3. You have to play more cover 3. Spags, work with me. Work with me here.
He's not a cover 3 guy.
I know he's not.
He doesn't dig it.
You got to get something in there.
I agree with you. And for nothing else than to hide when you do go to man.
Correct.
I would play a bear front on first downs. I would cover up the guard, center guard, and take my chances with one linebacker out there and stop Zeke on first.
See,
that doesn't like that.
I can't. Fine. You can't do it because they're just going to throw the ball. They're just going to throw the ball against.
That's okay.
It's not okay.
On first down, I'm fine with that because you can play too high over the top and still have enough DBs to cover it up. You just got to get lucky. And I would rather take away Zeke than get run on. That's
right. A big no for me.
This is why we would run the team very differently. But also, I would go to man. I would show them a lot of zone. I would play some double robber. And the difference is I would not play man if I wasn't pressing. Attack the shoulders of that wide receiver is what I meant to say. Good Lord, that was terrible. We're getting out of that question. After throwing to Williams last night, CH due for more targets. I think that he will be. And I know, we're like quarter after. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry to just keep dragging on here. Hey, guys, am I the only one who did the Ric Flair?
Yeah. No, I did the same thing. I was like, oh, my gosh. I even tweeted it, man. It was just nuts.
That was great. What caused Andy to be so aggressive last night? Loved it. He never tries to embarrass a team. He did last night. What's your opinion? Hi, Eternal.
It's the victory lap.
I think it was twofold, too. I think it was the victory lap. I actually think that he, for some reason, is defending John Gruden and wanted to take it out on that organization. They are tight. Like they are tighter friends than they ever let on for a lot of people. And I think that played into it a little bit as well.
Okay.
Just my thought.
Yeah.
What's up, Knicks fan? Hope you're doing well, bud. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Dylan, why did Bolton only see 19 snaps? It's because of the amount of nickel that they were in with only 2 linebackers on the field. Who gets the game ball? Good question. I didn't even do one of those. Who would get yours?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce was sick and tired. He was sick and tired of getting manhandled at the offensive at the line of scrimmage. And I know he's also sick and tired of getting talked at like he's lost a step, because he's not lost a step. He's just been physically abused and held in every game this year. And he was just, I'm done. He just took it to the Raiders defense all night. I love seeing him as the H-back. Weird how that works, getting free releases off the line of scrimmage. You don't have to worry about that. So he gave them so much energy. He didn't catch touchdown pass, but he's the reason that they were able to score touchdowns.
Yeah, he was the heart in the middle of the thing. That's what did it. Red, you make me laugh. I was more like 5'4". Coming out of college, I tested as a 4'9" outside linebacker. Coming out of college, they moved me to fullback and said, "Try to run faster, will you?" I ran out of talent my senior year of high school, but that's the way that works. Okay, that is the last one. So since we're well over the line, Dan, thank you for making it back. I'm glad you had a good trip.
Me too, man. It was. Oh, I'm tired though.
I don't blame you. Get some rest, you guys. We will be back. Dan will
Appreciate
have
you
content
guys.
for you this week coming up in the next couple of days. I'll be back with Seth on Thursday night for the Chief in the North. If you guys want, let me know in the comments, not the live stream chat, but in the comments. If you guys want to see a keys to the next game or whatever, I can knock one of those out, but they haven't been getting a lot of views lately. So if you would like to see it, please leave a comment down below, and we'll do like a game plan, a keys to victory kind of thing. So that said, thank you for all the contributors. Welcome all you new subs and you new members. I hope you guys dig this. And Dan, enjoy your sleep tonight.
I will. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
All right. Have a good one, folks.